there she is. We can see her sitting in her office. I'm not sure, you still have your microphone off. Maybe you want to turn your mic on, Roberta. In the old heart of Nassau, right next to the government house, this is where you find the Graycliff Hotel. It's an historic and colonial maison, and it's in a lush tropical garden right in the middle of the heart of Nassau. You find it, the Graycliff Hotel and Restaurant, an oasis of an elegant, tranquil resort that you find here. It's got 20 beautiful appointed guest rooms, and it really features the old time, the colonial time of Nassau. But it's got so much more than just a hotel. And I have to say, the family Grazioli is very, very engaged in maintaining the historic part of Nassau, and you do an awful lot. And I'm sure that, Roberta, you will show that all in your presentation. A very warm welcome, Roberta, to you.
Thank you, Claudia. I hope you can hear me fine. Yes? Perfect. So just to, as Claudia said, Graycliff is an historic mansion. It was built in 1740 by a pirate, and throughout the many years that we've been around, it changed hands from a private home to a prison, to a garrison, to a naval base, to a rooming house, and then back to a private home when my parents purchased it in 1973 when the Bahamas became independent. And at that time, it was just a small, well, not small, but it was a house with 7 guest rooms, and it came with 13 or 17 staff, and my dad said, we need to make a hotel because if not, we'll never survive. So that's where the story started. And we've grown ever since. So I'm going to give you an overview of the hotel, then Graycliff Restaurant, and then all the other things that we do at Graycliff, and then also a couple of things we do off property. So
thank you. The floor is yours, Roberta.
Sorry?
I said thank you, and the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. All right, so just to go quickly, as I said, Graycliff is a 5-star hotel. We're in the heart of Nassau, in the historic part of the island, right next to Government House. We are not on the beach, but we do have beach privileges at a couple of hotels in New Providence and Paradise Island, and also at Blue Lagoon Island. We offer our guests special day passes to beaches, or they can simply pack a picnic and go to one of the many public beaches on the island. We have 5-star dining at Graycliff Restaurant, and which is a world famous restaurant with also the 3rd largest wine cellar in the world. We also have a more casual dining experience at the Piazza, which due to COVID has not reopened as yet, but we will be reopening it this summer. And we are also a great locale for small meetings and events of all sizes, from 3 to 300 or even 1,000. And we offer unforgettable weddings. Next slide, please. And as I said, beyond Graycliff, we offer experiences at the Graycliff Chocolatier, Graycliff Cigar Company, at our restaurant, at Bahama Barrels, and the Heritage Museum, and I'll tell you a bit more later. And at Nassau International Airport, when you're departing from the US departure side, we offer a lounge for guests. And then there is also a new bar and lounge on the rooftop of Margaritaville Resort, which Karen mentioned earlier. Next. So this is a couple of shots of our property. All the rooms are individually decorated, and they all offer something unique. No two are alike. You can go to the next slide. Next slide, thanks. We have 4 room categories, which are bookable directly through the GDS or through Majestic or other receptive operators, or if you would like to contract directly, I'm happy to discuss that with anyone. We also have some family suites, which are 2 connecting rooms consisting of a luxury 2-bed and a suite, which can accommodate families. And those, unfortunately, due to the system we use, can only be done directly with the hotel. So you have to contact us for that. Next slide. As you can see, everything is beautifully decorated, and it's been kept primarily almost to the exact same furniture that when we purchased the house from Lady Dudley in 1973, most of the furniture was already there. So next. And unlike other hotels, we have no resort fees. Absolutely nothing in addition to the room rate other than your VAT and maid gratuities. We do offer Graycliff Continental breakfast in the room rate to all guests. There is complimentary Wi-Fi. We have 2 swimming pools, free parking, and we have fine Bulgari bathroom amenities. Next. So all of our rooms, as I said before, are individually decorated. This photo is of our Graycliff suite, which is our highest category. Next. So Graycliff Restaurant offers 5-star dining, which is primarily a continental cuisine with a Bahamian flair. We have both indoor and outdoor dining. We have various dining options in many different dining rooms because we still uphold it as in the way it was from a private home. And we do have the largest selection of wines, the 3rd largest wine selection in the world. So the wine cellar, we do offer wine cellar tours to our hotel guests and restaurant guests on a complimentary basis. Next. So here are just a couple of dishes. On the bottom left is our world famous souffle and some delicious lobster, which I wish I would. I'm actually in New York, so I'm not going to be able to have for dinner. Next. So we also have a private dining room in the wine cellar, so you can eat amongst the 200 and plus bottles of wine that we have. And to the right of it is actually a German wine, which is our oldest bottle. It's a 1727 Brahman Ratskeller, and it's a half bottle. So if one from Germany would like to try it, it's all yours. Next. So for outdoor dining, on the left side is our regular dining room on the patio at the restaurant. And then we also can do private dining by the pool, which is the photo on the right. Next. So at the piazza, as I mentioned, it is a more casual dining atmosphere. It's a combination of a Brazilian churrascaria for evening only, and then during the day and the evening, we also have a pizzeria. So hotel guests can do room service from any of the restaurants, but also can dine and sign to their rooms from any of the restaurants. We do offer poolside service as well. So for our guests, they can do that. Next. So as I said, the casual dining, indoor and outdoor, it's a great space for parties, weddings, receptions. Next. We also are a great venue for personalized weddings. Our wedding coordinator will make sure that your couple's day is unique. We only do one wedding a day, if that many, and they can get married. You can go to the next slide. By the pool, in the garden. So it's a beautiful setting, not just for photographs, but also for your ceremony or your reception. Next. So as I said, we do offer activities that are open to all guests in visiting the Bahamas, not just Graycliff Hotel guests. And these are in the culinary and oenophile, cigars, chocolate, history and heritage, and we also offer day passes for guests who wish to spend the day with us. Next. Our Culinary Academy is a one-day class which is offered with the chef, and you prepare a meal with him, and then you dine on the meal that you've prepared with him. So it's about a 4-hour activity. It starts around 10:30 in the morning, and you cook, then you have lunch, and you are served your lunch in the dining room by the waiters of the food that you have prepared with chef, and it's all paired with wine. Next. Our wine luncheon is a tasting lunch, which offers a 5-course meal. Each course is paired with different wines, and you are given a tour of the wine cellar, and those are offered every day. Next. We also offer wine and cheese tasting pairings. Because of our extensive wine cellar, guests can partake in this by pre-booking, and all these activities are commissionable to agents. So next. We also offer traditional afternoon tea with a twist. So we offer, the tea is offered with a Bahamian twist, whether it's Bahamian bush tea or some sweet that you can partake. And to make it even a bit grander, you can add on a glass of champagne or port or something to your liking. Next. Bahama Barrels is the only winery in the Bahamas. We do not grow grapes here, but we do offer a wine blending class, and we bottle our own wine. We blend wine from various wine grapes that we import. But you can be a chemist and make your own wine and label it, and we'll keep your blend. And should anybody want to reorder, we can make, a bottle or 100, depending on your pleasure. Next. As we have a world famous cigar company as well, we do offer cigar rolling lessons. These are lessons where people can learn how to make their own cigars. And if you can go to the next slide. We also offer a cigar and rum tasting, so you can pair various cigars with different rums. Next. The Art of Chocolate is an interactive class where people can learn how to make their own chocolate bars, bonbons. They make their own creations, and it's a great activity for the young ones and the young at heart. As you can see, everybody's having a fabulous time. Next. And the Chocolate and Spirits class is an adults only class, obviously, which we pair and teach people how to taste different chocolates with different spirits, whether it be wine, port, tequila, vodka, rum. It depends on what the activity of the day is, and it could even be water. Next. The Heritage Museum of the Bahamas is a cultural institution that opened a few years ago, and we are we're one of 3 museums in the neighborhood, between the Duncanue Museum and the Pirates Museum and the actually 4, the newly reopened Pompey Museum. You can learn a lot about the heritage and history of the Bahamas. We have, it takes you from prehistoric times to current times, and it's all about how the Bahamas has gone through the years from pre-discovery to the slave period through current day. Next. The Graycliff Airport Lounge is a lounge that is at Nassau International Airport, and it's after U.S. departure pre-clearance. So you clear immigration and customs in Nassau, and we are upstairs opposite gate C41. And it's the only location in the airport should anybody wish to smoke. We offer full bar and dining options. We have both indoor, if you can go to the next slide, Ellen. As you can see, we have both indoor and outdoor seating, and there is, in the indoor, there's both a non-smoking and a smoking side, so that anyone who does not wish to be around smoke does not have to be. Next. And last but not least is our Graycliff Sky Lounge, which recently opened at the Margaritaville rooftop. It is the only place which has a Remy Martin Louis XIII lounge in the world. Remy Martin has other lounges around the world, but this one is the only one that is a Louis XIII lounge. And it's open in the evenings from 5 to midnight from Wednesday to Sunday, and no reservations are required to go. And my last slide is our property map. So you can see where you see the entrance of Graycliff is the main building, which was built in 1740. And then the property sweeps around by the 2 swimming pools and comes around where you see number 10, which is the chocolatier. So, and we have guest rooms in both the main building down by the pool and in the above where the chocolatier is and the piazza. So when guests come, they could be either in the garden area, by the pool, in one of the 2 main buildings. So we have a variety of locations. And that is it.
Well, Roberta, I'm pretty impressed, I have to say, that all these things you packed in a very comprehensive and short presentation. Let me ask you some questions, if I may. First of all, I would be very keen to know who is the creative head in your family? I mean, it's a family business, which is anyway already amazing, because families, you know, they fight easy, they love each other to bits and pieces, but they also fight. So, but who's the creative head of the family?
Well, I have to say my dad is kind of the lead creator. Sometimes he surprises us. So, you know, we have to take the rein and go with it. So we do have to give him that credit. It was his vision to, you know, start the Scar Company and do other things to expand just beyond the original hotel and restaurant and add other elements to the property. And then also, you know, we all work together. We, you know, as you said, we do have, you know, we do fight. Yes, we do. But, you know, we all kind of take different elements, and so that way we don't step on each other's toes.
Yeah, but I mean, knowing the Bahamas in so many years, you really have turned the street from your property all the way to the National Art Gallery into a really wonderful historic street. There are still some open buildings or buildings that are not. Are there any plans, anything you want to share with us, or is it too early stage?
Well, on our side, all of our buildings are now almost complete. Where you see Bahama Barrels, the space next door is almost complete, and it's going to be an expansion of the winery. So we're going to be able to bottle more wines, and we've cleared the space so it can now become an event space as well. And when I talked about venues for a great event, we have actually fully closed our street. So where you see West Hill Street, we have closed it and turned it into an event space for, we turn it into a street festival, basically, with different booths that serve different foods, different activities. We've invited other vendors to join us.
That's wonderful. Is there a fixed date when you do it, or is it only at certain times of the year?
It's only by request to a client. Yeah. So if somebody has a big event and, they want everybody to be in the same spot, then we can certainly.
Wonderful. Now, you're not a beach property, so who is your target group? Which clients do you feel are the right clients for your hotel? What would you, out of your opinion?
I have to say, we have a lot of clients that come and stay with us for a couple of days and then go to the out islands to do their beach part of the holiday. So I wouldn't, discount any sort of segment, but definitely a more sophisticated audience that likes good food and good wine is, top of mind. And we get guests, of all ages. So I can't say it's only the 50-year-olds or things like that. So it's a nice broad audience.
Absolutely, and definitely you were talking about the honeymooners. I mean, I'm not sure if everybody knows that if you get married in the Bahamas, it is a legal marriage, and you have to get married before the sun sets. That's also very important. And that's what I learned just lately. So no marriage after the sunset or during the sunset, and it's a legal marriage. So tell this, please, your clients that if they want to get married in the Bahamas, they get an apostille, and then they're also bound to the husband or wife after their return, as long as it is before sunset. Roberta, anything to add to our audience? Meal plans, I assume that you're selling on bed and breakfast mainly, and that people then have dinners in various outlets.
The only meal we do include is our Graycliff Continental breakfast, as I mentioned. But we have, as I said, we have various dining options, and so it's not as if you're tied only to one restaurant. Our piazza will be reopening shortly, so.
Wonderful. And please, for everybody that is going to visit the Graycliff Hotel, you have to buy some chocolate in the chocolate factory, because the chocolate is absolutely amazing. And well, I'm saying thank you very much, Roberta, for being with us today. Thank you for taking the time and presenting your lovely and very extraordinary property in Nassau.
Thank you.